I run into rejection. I know it's only redirection. I see the blessings right beside me. The chances of quitting are likely. I do it like I'm in my Nikes. Don't make excuses, they never excite me. Boxes, boxes. I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it, stop it. Quitting was never an option. Exhausted, exhausted. This passion is never exhausted. And you cannot stop it. Nah, you cannot stop it.
Good morning, Knicksy universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Knicks Morning Brew on this Monday, April 29th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, hanging out with my brothers this morning. I got my guy Eddie Presti, and I got my guy Phil, all caps. Phil, unmute your mic, baby.
I did. It's beautiful. Yo, I feel good, man. Like we showed up last night. You know, like it wasn't just a game. It was a statement game, you know, because I feel like you saw a lot of trash talk from 76ers players and 76ers fans after that first win of theirs, you know, that this was the start of their comeback, that the Knicks didn't have it, this, that, and whatever. And last night, everybody showed why they are a New York Knick, from the Josh Hart blocks to the OG blocks to the Jalen Brunson, you know, playoff record, you know, scoring. Like every single thing just clicked yesterday, even to the Precious Achiuwa minutes, which were so critical for us in that fourth quarter. And
Big
so
time.
I feel like everything, you know, happened last night to say we are here. Like this isn't a fluke. Like this team is the real deal. They are something to be messed with. You know, you do not want to start with this New York Knicks team, because you could see Jalen Brunson last night. Jalen Brunson had that as soon as Embiid hit him and he felt what Embiid did to him, like in that check, it was like a different Brunson in that second half. Like he just, it was like ready to kill Jalen Brunson, and it was beautiful to watch. Like, just shout out to them. They took this win. They got it from Mitchell Robinson. I know that was a big thought in their minds. So shout out to the New York Knicks for giving us something to celebrate last night.
Yeah, 100%. Before I throw it over to Eddie, we got over 80 people in the building rocking with us right now. All you Knicks fans, smack the like button and hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Instagram, if you're watching on the Elon Musk machine or Facebook, click the link in the bio, jump on over to YouTube, and join the conversation. Eddie Presti, you handsome bastard in an orange suit jacket. Talk to the people.
Look, I mean, I was actually impressed yesterday with that win. That defense. All right. So for me, the turning point started in that third quarter. At the end of that third quarter, there was a possession where Josh Hart got 2 rebounds, and then Brunson hits that N1 to end the quarter. And Brunson showed off all the emotion. He showed off all the rage he had. And we go up going into that third quarter. And then in that fourth quarter, we went on to in that fourth quarter, and we put on a defensive masterclass in that fourth quarter. We shut Philly down in the last 5.5 minutes. They didn't hit a field goal. Okay, everybody was shut down. They were 0 for 11 in the last 5 minutes. I think what were they? 6 of 24 from the field in the fourth quarter. That's 25%. 1 of 9 from the 3. That's 11%. And again, when you shut them down totally in the last 5 minutes and in clutch time, that's impressive. So shout out to the Knicks, shout out to the defense. Obviously, OG on Embiid, shut him down. Precious with the block on Embiid. Josh Hart stepping up. Everybody stepped up to give the Knicks a win yesterday. So look, man, we took a commanding lead, and now we have a chance to go home on Tuesday and close the door on the 76ers for good. So I was very impressed. Very impressed.
Definitely. I want to shout out some folks in the chat. Got to do the roll call. Shout out to Tom Thibodeau in the chat, who says, I made adjustments, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Thibodeau said he made adjustments as we've reached 100 people watching us right now. My guy Truth Always is in the building. Salute to you. Corey Lee is in the building. My guy, salute to you. CT Pittman, yeah, so he had to just go to the hospital, deal with a little doctor's checkup here. So he'll be back on tomorrow's episode for the morning positivity. Make sure you guys tune in. Teresa T in the building. We're the better team. The fourth quarter had something to say about what Joel Embiid said, and I'm gonna pause that right here because I just want to bring this up. This is what Joel Embiid said. Knicks fans, when they took over the Wells Fargo Arena, it kind of pissed me off. And as a Knicks fan, I gotta say I loved it. I was watching it in the local bar up here, uptown in Inwood. Shout out to Baka's back page. He pulled up. Shout out to our friend Sinelli, who pulled up as well. He was in the building. But yeah, right up here, there was a bunch of Knicks fans, but there was like 3 Philadelphia 76ers fans. And I'm gonna tell you this: they were talking so much mess through the first 3 quarters of the game, Phil. When the fourth quarter came, they were quiet. They was zip. They was zilch. Nada. Zilch. Like, it was so beautiful to see him. I'm putting that video together. I'm editing right now. But no, I got to piggyback off of what Eddie said. When you look at the minutes that we got from Precious Achiuwa, those minutes were crucial. When you look at the minutes we got from Deuce McBride, that was crucial. Even though Dante DiVincenzo had an off game, right? Very, very unlike Dante DiVincenzo. He scored 8 points. Those 8 points were crucial 8 points in a row. He had 2 3-pointers, and then he had a layup or something like that, all in a row. That was crucial. But the defense, the adjustments we're seeing in that fourth quarter when Isaiah Hartenstein, and shout out to Hart, he's had an amazing series. But when he was in foul trouble, and Tom Thibodeau decided to put OG Anunoby on Joel Embiid, OG right there shows how valuable he is when it comes to his defense. The way that he had to make Joel Embiid, he's already compromised physically, but Joel Embiid had to be able to run back down the court to defend OG Anunoby. So Joel Embiid couldn't be in the paint operating. He had to stay out on the 3-point line on the offensive side of things so he could get back on the court and guard OG. I think that's a lineup the Knicks should try to lean into going into the next game and try to expose Joel Embiid for that flaw right there. Like I said, Joel Embiid, he's compromised right now, right? So yeah. I don't want to take that out of the. He's a great player. He's still able to drop 50 points being compromised. I don't want us to sleep on that. But him being compromised, we still got to take advantage of that. That's all I'm going to say.
Here's the thing is, yes, he is injured. You know, we understand that he's not 100%. But this is the same guy that put on a scoring clinic last game, you know?
Yeah.
So you know, for people that want to use that now as an excuse to why, you know, he performed poorly in the fourth quarter yesterday, you know, like even one of the announcers was like, oh, Embiid, you know, he's not 100%. And he was like, well, no, the other announcer was like, no, he just looks tired. Like, it looks gassed. Like the way the Knicks are playing him have him gassed, you know? So I was like, finally, you know, someone not giving them an outlet, you know, like to a little escape lamb goat, you know, to get away with it. Because he put on a clinic the game before. He killed us the game before. So I'm not going to use that because in that fourth quarter, like you said, Tibbs made adjustments and they were crucial adjustments. Like there were times, and this is what a real warrior is. A real baller is ready in and out of season. At any time you can get your minutes, you know? And even though there's that troll announcer that I don't want to give him credit for his commentating because he's always got something to say about the Knicks with a, you know, slight compliment that's also with a backhand at the same time. I'm not going to give him credit and say his name, but he did say something about like, you know, in the league, I tell people all the time, be ready. If it's 3 minutes, play your 3 minutes because 3 minutes can turn to 6 minutes, can turn to 9 minutes, can turn to 12 minutes. And it went from Precious not really even seeing the court in those first few minutes to last game, him getting the crucial minutes where his defense was incredible when he stepped in to actually when OG wasn't able to get, you know, Embiid. It was Precious that would step in and get that pick off of him and played Embiid super, super well. Like he got great rebounds, great tip outs. Like he was just doing a great job. So got to give Precious his flowers because he was ready. You know, he didn't wait to, oh, I got to warm up and then feel comfortable and then I'll be able to contribute. He was ready to contribute off the bench, and he did a stellar job at it. And so when it comes to the MSG thing, I think it's hilarious. I saw a Twitter post this morning of the news in Philly. They were interviewing.
You saw that, right? I was going to bring that up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. They were interviewing 76er fans, and she's all mad, and she's like, oh, my goodness, I can't believe it. You guys can't afford tickets at MSG, so you guys came into our arena,
Word.
this, that, and whatever. And this one girl comes, and she's like, actually, I'm a season ticket holder. And she's like, no, your dad is. And she's like, what kind of a comeback is that? Your dad is? Like, they're still my tickets. But I thought it was hilarious because what she did in that is she said two things. She said, hey, Knicks fans, you guys came here because our seats are cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. But you also said our seats are drastically cheaper and we don't even have enough fans to buy those tickets. Because at the end of the day, we all know that your fan base, all the people with the newsletter, all that stuff, everyone that actually follows your team, they always get those emails from their organization saying, hey, Knicks fans, hey, Sixer fans, hey, whatever fans, tickets go on sale for Knicks fans next week. So before anyone else, you typically get those emails from your organization of your team to be able to buy those tickets. So why is over half of your crowd MSG, unable to afford MSG New York Knicks ticket holders? Why? Because you don't have enough fans to actually fill your own arena in the playoffs. So you're welcome. The ticket sales help you guys, but your arena would have been half empty if it wasn't for our squad. So shout out to all the Knicks that traveled. I saw quite a few, content creators actually in the crowd in some of those shots, which is really, really cool to see those people, representing. So shout out to the Knicks content creators that went out and supported their squad.
Listen, these NBA franchises and their fan base, they need to be grateful. They need to be grateful that the New York Knicks and the fans of the New York Knicks are helping out your poverty franchises when it comes to us buying your tickets for the playoffs. Because honestly, like Phil said, there should be no reason Knicks fans, over 11,000 Knicks fans were in Philadelphia in the Wells Fargo Arena yesterday. And with that being said, Knicks fans, if you guys want to know, when it comes to the Indiana, when it comes to the Pacers at the Bucks series, right? Just put this in your head. Get ready for round 2. In Milwaukee, the cheapest ticket right now is $31. In Indiana, wherever the hell they play in Indiana, I don't even know the name of the stadium. I think the name of the stadium. Hold on. Let me be wild disrespectful right now. The Gamebridge Fieldhouse is where the Indiana Pacers play. So the cheapest tickets over there at the Gamebridge Fieldhouse is $69. Knicks fans, if you got yourself a Planet Fitness membership, all you got to do is rent a car, go sleep in the parking lot of Walmart, go wash your hoo-ha at Planet Fitness, and buy yourself a cheap ticket in Indiana. That's all you got to do for round 2. But go ahead, Eddie. I'll throw it over to you. And shout out to the chat. Smack the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, I don't want to hear this. Oh, they took over arena, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear this bullshit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. We travel and we travel well. So be it. Okay. There's been times over the last 20 years where I had to see all these fucking asshole Laker fans come into the Garden.
Yeah.
All these fucking Miami Heat fans coming to the Garden. Cleveland Cavaliers fans coming to the Garden. Golden State Warrior fans. I don't want to hear this shit. Now we're finally good, and now we're traveling. It's our time. Fuck you and all these other fan bases.
And this is the thing. I want to point something out, okay? MVP Chants. I support that. That is the utmost disrespect, but also the same, level of respect to your guy who deserves those chants. But when it comes to the Embiid stuff, I'm like, okay, here's the thing. We're still trying to get rid of the Trae Young chants. Can we not start this? Because I know in 3 years, there's still going to be ridiculous Knicks fans that for some reason, when we're not even playing the 76ers, are going to start chanting FMB, just like they did last year when we beat the Cavs, and I'm filming, and people are like, Trae Young. I'm like, what does that even have to do with anything? So I don't want to start that trend. So if we could stop with this whole, chanting F a player because it's not going to, disappear when it should, let's do that. and the stomping out 76ers merch, like this is the kind of stuff that I'm just like, okay, now you're being petulant, like this is just a little bit like, I can't claim those fans, I just can't. But the fans that are getting mad that we traveled for the Sixers, and the Sixer fans that are mad that we were in the Garden, like, that's crazy. Like, don't tell me you're the city of brotherly love and then you're gonna get all butthurt and mad and want to fight people because we traveled to your arena. That's not brotherly love in any way, shape, or form. And we won, and we're gonna win the series, And so, at the end of the day, I'm gonna reply to their fans the same way that Embiid replied to the commentators and the interviewers after Game 2. At the end of the day, we're gonna win. We're the better team. We are the better team. So deal with it, Sixers fans. We are the better team. We are the better fan base. It is what it is. But let's talk about the game.
No, yeah, definitely going to talk about the game real quick. But I just want to piggyback on what Phil just said right now. A week ago, right, I would have been in the same circle like you, Phil, talking about Knicks fans don't do this and don't do that, and the merchant don't stomp on the merchandise. But I've got to a point that I'm like, fuck it. And I'm embracing it, because seeing Philadelphia 76ers fans, especially the ones that was at the bar yesterday that I was at, shout out to the tavern, the local tavern by me, the Tyrone Public. But the Philadelphia 76, when Joel Embiid fell on top of Jalen Brunson, right? Yep. At first, they were cheering for Jalen Brunson to get injured. When Joel Embiid stepped on Josh Hart, they were cheering for Joel Embiid to step on Josh Hart. So you know what I say to that? I say, fuck the Philadelphia 76ers. Fuck the fan base. Fuck the chopped cheese, that fictional character you got, Rocky Balboa. Fuck them all. I'm a Knicks fan. Point blank, period.
When you mean Philly cheese.
When you start.
You mean Philly cheese. You said chopped cheese. You said chopped cheese.
I said chopped cheese. I meant to say chopped cheese all day. Fuck the Philly cheesesteak, chopped cheese all day. That's what I meant to say. I don't root for people to get injured. I don't root for players to get injured. I don't root for Embiid to get injured. Seeing Philadelphia 76er fans rooting for Brunson to get injured, rooting for Josh Hart to get injured, I can't stand for that. And for that, I'm saying F you.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing: is none of us need to like Embiid. Like if you're in the if you're in the circle, you see that certain people made certain shirts towards Embiid recently. It's just how we do it, like I
don't support that shit. I don't support that.
I also, like, when I say the Embiid thing, yes, there's reasons to dislike Embiid right now. Like what he did to Mitchell Robinson. Like I'm kind of a little upset that no one on our squad really bowed up to him at that moment. Like that's one of those moments that this is one of your main guys. You need to step up for him. But what he did to Jalen Brunson, where he's like, what did I do? What did I do? Like acting like he didn't shoulder check him. I understand that. The reason I'm saying please don't go that route is because I don't want next year or in the NBA finals for us to have still fans that are still going to be chanting that when we're already past the Embiid thing. Like I said, you and I were dying, Hector, last year when we're outside of Cleveland, and all of a sudden the Knicks in 5 chant stop, and one kid just starts chanting F Trae Young. Like that's years behind us. So that's the trend that I don't want to follow. I don't want in 3 years to that still be a chant. So it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's still F Trae Young. I'll throw it over to Eddie, but I want to Blood of the Panther just said, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Shout out to Blood of the Panther, the top moderator of all the moderators. Let me bring up some chats real quick. My guy CP, the artist, said, Hector, you sound like you've done that before. Wash your bank in a Planet Fitness bathroom. First of all, when you work 2 jobs and you got to go in between, you got to watch yourself. Make sure you're clean. So when I worked EMS and I had I worked for 2 different companies. Shout out to you, CP. Appreciate you. Knicks and will be 2024 NBA champions. Salute to you, my guy. Rock's hot take: Knicks fans were savages. With all due respect, MVP chants in the first quarter, FFB chants in the lobby, stomping over 76ers merch outside, etc., etc. Eddie Presti, I'll throw it over to you, my guy.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I don't care about these debates. I don't care about what happens. We won. We took over your arena. Fuck you. I don't. This whole Embiid thing. Embiid, he was playing great in the first and second quarter yesterday. Played great in the third quarter too. What happened in the fourth quarter, Embiid? What happened? I thought he's this big superstar.
Yes.
Guy went MIA. And Nick Nurse. Oh, Nick Nurse is this fucking genius. He's so smart. If he's so smart, he would have took Embiid out at some point during the third quarter, because in the fourth quarter, Embiid was cooked. He was cooked. Yes. He had that open shot. I don't know if you guys remember, but after that timeout, he had that open shot, open look on the baseline, and he passed it up. He passed it up, and then he fucked up. So, again, all this stuff, the 76ers, they played great through the first 3 games, but that last game, and they played great through the first 3 quarters yesterday. But after that third quarter, they were cooked, they were finished, they were chopped cheese. Okay? We took care of them, we stomped on their necks, and we stomped them the fuck out. So I don't want to hear any of this bullshit from 76ers fans, from Joel Embiid. You lost, and that's it. There's nothing you could do. It's the Knicks time. Goodbye.
I got a video that I want to play real quick, and this is from a former Knick. I saw this circling on the timeline yesterday. I got it off of TikTok, but it was circling on Instagram Live. Shout out to Stephon Marbury, right? We all know Stephon Marbury, Coney Island kid. When he came here to the Knicks, we all thought Stephon Marbury would bring us back to at least not a championship, but to some type of notoriety in the NBA, some type of normality, back relevancy. Yeah, absolutely, Eddie. So I got this video from Steph, and we'll be right back.
We got to start rolling on top of people, too. OG is stepping up. Jalen Brunson out there weaving. He out there weaving. Yes! Block! Block! I think JB in a different type of bag right now. Pride over Embiid. G with the left. With the left. McBride! I love it. Bang! Ah! Ain't no damn 80s and 90s basketball, Richard Jefferson. JB out here doing something that you do. When you do what you do, that's what he doing. Yes, Dante. Yeah, big 3, baby. We need. I'm talking about back-to-back threes. 35 for Brunson with another triple. What a block by Hart. The heart of the city, baby. Oh, my God. The kid was going to his right and shot it left-handed over Embiid. We gritting and grinding right now. We gritting and grinding. Yes, yes. Oh, our defense. That's the D. Keep outworking them, baby. Love it. I love it. Our aggressiveness on the defensive end is amazing. Woo! Yes, baby. Damn, how do I go to sleep now?
And I bring that up to show that Knick alum, former Knicks, they're just as passionate as us Knicks fans. I'm not sure if you guys saw it yesterday, but Ian Begley pointed it out that John Starks was on the sideline and he got into a heavy back and forth with fans over there in Philadelphia. And shout out to everybody in the chat saying it brought them back Vaseline Marbury memories. Listen, Vaseline Stephon Marbury is undefeated. All right, that is the top tier undefeated villain in all of fantasy. Go ahead, Phil. I'll throw it over to you.
Nah, it's cool to see so many, supporting. I know I saw a video that Anthony posted, Starks on a freaking train with a bunch of Knicks fans heading over to Philly, and so it's just cool to see, some of the players that, I loved watching, and admired, still be part of that fan base. It's crazy when you look at a New York Knicks game and you see the royalty of people that have been, Knicks fans for a while that continue to be there, that continue to support, that it's like every single commercial you have to go through a few different, in Celebrity Row, whether it's Ben Stiller, Tracy Morgan, Action Bronson, and then you got like Marbury, Stoudemire, Starks, Johnson, Chant, like all these people are always there. And you watch the Sixers game yesterday and they pan to the same 4 people every commercial to see what those 4 people are doing. It's hilarious, So shout out to the fact that we have that. Shout out to the fact that we have that love and that like loyalty from our fans. From our former stars. One thing I wanted to talk about was, this whole thing of how their team is doing everything they can to strip what's actually happening, to like dumb it down, to water it down of what it really is. Like what infuriated me was that Kelly Oubre interview after, when they asked him about Jalen Brunson's like spectacular performance, and he replies like, well, it was 34 shots, yeah, I love his game, but anybody who shoots 34 shots with that skill set can have that high of a scoring game, kind of a thing. And it's just like, really? Because like, it's not like he shot like 30%, and just kept shooting and shooting and shooting so that he could stack points. Mm-hmm. He was shooting almost 60% with a 40, 5+ game, So for me, it's a little frustrating that even when Jalen Brunson achieves things that are far past what anyone thought that he could achieve, people still try to rob him of what he's doing. So shout out to Jalen Brunson because he's, regardless of these people, they're having those kind of answers because they're sour, because at the end of the day, most of the time that he was getting guarded, it was by Kelly Oubre or by Maxey. So you got to be a little furious that you're the defender on the guy who just broke the New York Knicks playoff record.
Even Embiid was on Brunson too. He cooked every single one of those guys on the court yesterday. And I love watching these old Knicks. Like Stephon Marbury in particular, if I was him, I'd have sort of like, probably some hatred towards the Knicks because of the way he was treated at the end by that scumbag D'Antoni. So, I love the fact that he's still a Knicks fan at heart. I love it. Mm-hmm. I love watching it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Kelly Oubre, as far as he goes, he sounds like a fucking hater. Sounds like a fucking jealous hater. Well, fuck you, Kelly Oubre, all right? Go get your fucking 16 points somewhere else, all right? You suck.
I want to bring something up, and again, because Phil brought up that they pointed to the three celebrities at in Philadelphia for their celebrity row, and they kept circling back through the same three
Jay
people.
Iverson and that girl.
Dawn Staley, women's national head coach for North Carolina, at the same time was an amazing college basketball player herself, but she becomes a meme as she was waving goodbye to Knicks players in Game 4. This was in the third quarter with 1 minute and 25 seconds left to go, and we all know how the story changed after that third quarter. The New York Knicks went on a run in the fourth quarter, and it seemed like I think it was like a minute or two left in the game. They stopped showing those celebrities. Those celebrities, I'm not sure if they walked out or they decided to beat the traffic like the Yankee fans do in the 7th inning. They leave early so they could beat the traffic or the Deacon. So I'm not sure if that's what they was dealing with. But this is what I'm going to say. Do not be a sore loser, okay? Because when it comes to this series, before the series started, before we even had Game 1, there was so much smoke, not only from the fans in Philadelphia, but from the sports radio hosts in Philadelphia, from the content creators in Philadelphia, from the news anchors in Philadelphia. You guys had all the smoke in the world. But you guys now are down 3-1, and it's quiet. I thought Philadelphia is supposed to be a sports town. Eddie, isn't that what the Phillies preach? That Philadelphia is the most rowdy fan base? The most rowdy fan base? So rowdy that Knicks fans showed up in the arena, 11,000. I'm just saying. Phil, let's talk basketball.
Come on.
Yeah. So shout out to Dawn. Like I know she's just a loyal fan. Unfortunately,
she is. And like I said,
she chose
amazing
the wrong
play.
team.
Yeah.
But it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch her wave Isaiah Hartenstein away when he got those 5 fouls. She made sure to put 5 up and get everyone around her to put 5 up to remind him that he has 5 fouls. But it's funny to me that all that boasting and gloating is what brought in Precious Achua, which wound up being even more of a game changer than Hartenstein was in that third.
Yeah.
Hartenstein was getting cooked by Embiid. All of a sudden, OG and Precious are, taking turns on Embiid, and Embiid goes ghost, So I thought it was hilarious that the gloating and the, happiness that they had that Hartenstein was on the bench with 5 fouls was actually what wound up biting them in the ass, at the end of the day. So shout out to her. I know she's just being a fan. Shout out to AI and everyone else that was in the front. But when it comes to the game, man, I want to give flowers to Tibbs. Like, that was one of those games where you cannot watch and say that was not a coaching masterclass. Like, it was. Like, the things that were biting us were things that he can't control, like those Hartenstein fouls, like those are things that you really can't control. But everything that he was doing, even to the point that, like, there were times that we would end last season with a challenge still in our pocket. And we'd be like, what the crap? Like, why didn't we at least try, And so last few minutes, Brunson's like, just challenge it. Why not? And like Tibbs immediately challenges it. And so seeing that just made me, happy to watch, to see that Tibbs has grown so much. And I can't watch anything in that game that makes me go, hey, like Tibbs screwed up there. Like, no, I think he did a great job. And so I think that, if we don't give Tibbs flowers and we just give the players flowers, that would be an injustice. So I just wanted to get that out of the way before we talk more about the game.
No, definitely. Listen, somebody check your post. Make sure hell's not freezing over. Phil is giving credit to Tom Thibodeau. Shout out to Tom Thibodeau. And shout out to all you people in the chat. We got over 280 people rocking with us right now. 150 is watching us on YouTube. If you guys can, smack the like button. We're sitting on 50 likes right now on the stream. Let's get the stream to at least 100 likes. Like I said, we got 280 watching us collectively. 150 is watching us on YouTube. Smack the like button. Let's run the likes up. Eddie, I'm going to throw it over to you because you, my friend, are very pessimistic outside of the box Knicks fans, right? You don't let your Knicks goggles blind your judgment when it comes to analyzing and looking at these games. So when it comes to the Knicks being up 3-1 right now, I want to have this conversation. Should we be grateful that we are up 3-1, or do we deserve to be up 3-1? And I bring this up only for this reason. Game 2, we lucked out and we walked away with game 2. It could have easily been 1-1 going into Philadelphia. Philadelphia winning the first game in Philadelphia, being up 2-1, us winning yesterday 2-2 going back to New York. So I want to ask you, are the New York Knicks, are we just that good, or did luck fall on our side in the first 2 games in the Garden?
No, there's no luck in the playoffs. You either compete or you don't. Say whatever you want. I'm a hater. I'm telling you what I feel. There's no luck. That game yesterday could have won either way. That was a coin flip. That was a coin flip up until the fourth quarter. That game could have went any which way you wanted it to go. That second game, the miracle game, that game could have went any which way. Even the first game could have won any game. It could have went anyway. We've outperformed them when it matters. That's really, if you get down to it, that's the difference in the series. We've outperformed them when it really, really matters. And our other pieces outperformed Philly. Our bench, something that I've been concerned with all year, has outperformed the Philly bench. Our role players, our adjustments, our coach has outperformed their coach, Nick Nurse. We have outperformed them every single way and every single opportunity we've had. They've had opportunities, the same opportunities as we had to go and win these games. And they didn't. We did. That's the difference. So I think the Knicks fought harder and are right now just the better team. They're the better team, despite the superstars that Philly has. And they have two of them. You can say whatever you want about Embiid, and you can say whatever you want about Maxey. At the end of the day, that's two superstar players. They're two top 20, top 15 players. The Knicks have one. All right, but the Knicks have a team, and they have all these pieces that contribute more, 1 through 9 or 1 through 8. Look at Bogey went down yesterday. Still won the game. We could have easily rolled over. Precious Achiuwa comes out of nowhere and plays this insane defense that he played. We've played really, really well. And we've played a team that's, not your regular 7 seed, and we've won. We're up 3-1 now. We have a chance to close this shit out in 5. Good for the Knicks, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to the whole organization.
CT Pittman in the chat says, talk that talk, Edward. Go ahead, Phil.
At the end of the day, yes, on paper, we have a star. But if you look at certain things, like bring up Precious Achiuwa had 4 blocks in less than 20 minutes. That means every 5 minutes of the game, he is blocking somebody. Like, that is more in 20 minutes than some players, even some centers, get in multiple games added up. He's coming in with barely having a lot of traction in these playoffs, and all of a sudden getting 4 blocks in 20 minutes. Like, that is star quality defense. He might not be considered a star, but those are star performances, on the defensive end there. And then you look at Josh Hart. A lot of people are going to go look at the field goals. Oh, he had 4 points. I don't give a crap that he had 4 points. This guy, we do not win these games without Josh Hart's effort, without Josh Hart's contribution. And anyone who disagrees and still does not want Josh Hart on this team, I can't consider you an actual basketball mind in any way, shape, or form. You do not watch Knicks games if you do not think that Josh Hart is a crucial part of why we win. 17 freaking rebounds. This is a guy that is playing playing a small forward role, but he is 6'4". He is the size of most guards in the league. And he is getting 17 of our rebounds. Also getting 5 assists and also getting 3 blocks, 3 crucial blocks, And so this is a guy that we do not see winning without. So shout out to Josh Hart, because the effort that he puts in is contagious. There is no way you have a guy like that and you don't get some kind of fuel and empowerment having them on your team. When you're feeling drained and feeling a little bit exhausted and you see the freaking Energizer bunny that is Josh Hart going by you, you find it in you to catch back up. You find it in you to keep on playing. So shout out to Josh Hart, because there's so many things in that game yesterday that were game changers. So many second chance and third chance opportunities in those last 2 games that we don't have without him diving for the ball, without him sacrificing himself, without him having these weird Magneto opportunities to know where the ball's going to go and just put his hands out and the ball just comes to him. It's freaking ridiculous to watch. So shout out to him.
Yeah, no, shout out to Josh Hart. I just want to say this real quick. When you after the third quarter, in the third quarter, right? Starting in the third quarter, the New York Knicks, we got not the fouls. Every loose ball, every hustle ball went our way. Anytime you dove on the floor for a ball, anytime you was hustling for a ball, the hustle stats that don't show up in the box score, all of that went in the Knicks' favor after the third quarter. In that third quarter going forward in the second half, we got all the hustle points. And like Phil said, Josh Hart, he was a big part of that, right? Precious Achiuwa, chemistry goes a long way. Continuity, like Celso loves to bring up. I got to bring it up because he's not here. But chemistry goes a long way. You see the chemistry with OG Anunoby and Precious Achiuwa. They don't even have to look at each other, but they're communicating on where you should go on the side defensively. Hey, pick up my man. Hey, I'm about to screen over here, rotate over here. And you heard it in the post game. They were talking about it, how they worked on it for years in Toronto. So you see that on the court. And shout out to the coaching staff, because in the first 2 games of this series, let's be honest, Jalen Brunson, he looked horrible. He looked his worst version The Philadelphia 76ers, their defense was working on Jalen Brunson. Shout out to the coaching staff. You see this clear difference between Jalen Brunson in game 1 and 2 and now Jalen Brunson in the last 2 games. They're screening a lot further out than what they were before. The guy who was trying to rotate and double team Jalen Brunson can't get there because the big man is setting a better screen. Shout out to Othello Harrington, who works with the big man on that specifically. So when you're watching the film and you're watching these games, just pay attention how the Knicks bigs set the screens for Jalen Brunson now. It makes it hard for that double team, and they could rotate a lot easier. So when the double team, it does go there, Jalen Brunson can throw it over to Isaiah Hartenstein, who's been killing it. Like you said, Eddie, yes, Joel Embiid was destroying Isaiah Hartenstein, was destroying him. Joel Embiid, let's be honest, his body is just too big for Isaiah Hartenstein. But when you have an athletic defender like OG Anunoby, who has the length and who has the side and the speed to make Joel Embiid get tired, look at that fourth quarter. Joel Embiid was gassed. They tried to play him literally for the entire game. I think Joel Embiid played 43, 44 minutes, something like that. So it was 4 minutes that he sat. He was gassed in that fourth quarter. And I think going towards the next game when we come home, we have to close it out. There's no more. We got to close it out at home for win in 5. That's it. We can't let Philadelphia build any momentum. And it sets it up perfectly because in round 2, Milwaukee and Indiana's up 3-1. Eddie, I know you were one of the Knicks fans that was saying we should have lost the last game against Chicago to get the easy team in round 1. Well, guess what? We may be matched up with that easier team in round 2. Phil, I'll throw it over to you to talk about that and then throw it over to Eddie.
I'm actually dying for it now because right now, as of yesterday, I'm in Indiana. And so I'm supposed to be linking up with my guy Billy this week and watching one of the games. But to be able to go to one of the games here in Indiana, decked out in Hoosier country, decked out in the orange and blue, and rolling through with a few friends and my boys, I'm dying for it. So
where's Indiana on the map? I don't even know where it's at on the map. I'm uneducated.
It's near Ohio.
City public school system. Okay.
Our first game would be. I think it's the 6th and the 7th is when round 2 starts. Let's see.
So it would be what, like 9th or 10th in Indiana?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I saw it could be the 4th or 5th for game 1.
It could be earlier. They said depending on when the series ends for both teams.
I'm telling you right now. If the Knicks meet up with Indiana in round 2, I'm taking my ass to Indiana. I'm sleeping in a rental car. I'm figuring it out. I'm going to at least one of those games. I'm figuring it out.
Do it. So it says right here, conference semifinals will begin May 6th and 7th, but can move up to May 4th or 5th if the series from the prior round ends early. So it all depends on when we and the Pacers wrap it up. So if we both wrap it up this week, then in the next game, then it could be as early as May 4th and 5th, which would be crazy because I'm in New York the 9th, 10th, and 11th. So I would be able to do something out in New York, would also be able to do something here in Indiana. So I'm looking forward to it. I would like the Pacers.
No, CP, I got a Planet Fitness membership. I'm not washing my ass in Wawash, all right? I'm washing my ass in Planet Fitness if I'm out there in Indiana, point blank, period. We got 300 people in the building rocking out with us. If you guys can't smack the like button and hit the subscribe button, shout out to my guy, CP the artist. Ally Wise, let me know, baby. Knicks fans, let me know. Come on.
By the way, this John keeps saying, Eddie wanted to duck the smoke. No. I wanted to take the easier route. That's it. And here we are. We're going to face them anyway. But again, don't hate on me for wanting to take the easiher route. I still stand by that. Fuck it, work smarter.
That's all right, Eddie. You're allowed to have your opinions. Whether people like them or not. I don't like it, but I still love you. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day.
Work smarter. That's it. What the fuck? Again,
honestly,
and we face Indy, we're gonna fucking kill them.
Yeah, but
killed him.
like I said, look at
that.
we're battling right now, right? We're battling right now. So if we make it to this next round against the Pacers, it should be a cakewalk because we've already battled. We already know what our squad can do against an actual contender. You know, like with Indy, I feel like it would have been a lot easier, you know, of a series. You know, like it wouldn't have been. So I like the fact that we've had the opposition from the get-go, because now we go into Indy and it's just like it's like playing with your food, you know. But we're not going to, because our guys don't do that, which I love. You know, they're going to take it seriously. They're going to win. And so I think it'll be an easier thing, but we're already battle tested so that when we get to the Eastern Conference Finals, we know, you know, okay, what can this squad do against an actual star? Because I like Tyrese Halliburton, you know, I like Halliburton, but he has not performed out to the potential since the All-Star game that he was up until the All-Star game. You know, like there were many Knicks fans.
Wally was right.
There was many Knicks fans that wanted Halliburton over Brunson, you know, saying that we should have, you know, put priority to get Halliburton and not Jalen. Well, look how that's turned out. You know, like one's proven to be a freaking monster. And that's our guy. So I'm glad that we would see him in the second round. We could dead all those narratives. They were talking about how he's, you know, the assist king. Brunson doesn't know how to assist. Well, guess what? Brunson's putting up 40 plus points in the playoffs with 10 plus assists, you know, so all those narratives are dying and I love to watch it. So.
Okay. I have something. It's on Twitter right now. And
don't tell me it's Stephen A. Smith.
Can Knicks fans just enjoy today?
It is.
Can Stephen we just enjoy today? Yes. Yes. It is him. It is that guy that you mentioned. Listen, I know
Stephen what you're talking about.
In person.
I hate it.
I'm going to save that conversation for later, right? Because I know you're flustered right now. I'm going to save that for later. All I'm saying is, can we just enjoy today? Let's enjoy today. Stop looking towards next year. Stop looking towards free agency. Let us enjoy what we have right now. We have a guy in Jalen Brunson who just set the franchise record for the most points in a playoff game. And you decide on Monday, the next morning at 11:49 in the fucking morning to headline a story with Devin Booker wants to be a New York Knick. Get the fuck out of here.
I'll take Devin Booker.
Eddie, go fuck yourself. All right, you and Stephen A. Smith. That conversation can happen later on. Let's enjoy today. Let's celebrate Jalen Brunson setting the franchise record for the organization. And shout out to my guy, Hard Will from For the Love of the Game. Will, how you doing? Salute, salute, salute. And shout out
let's
to
do a little roll call. There's more people up in here now. We got Davey. What up, Davey? No,
shout out my guy Davey Hammond.
Well, yeah, you know, shout out to Davey. We got Lady and the Chef. Salute to the Morning Brew crew in the chat. I love pie. Meek Mill planning to go to Game 5. Someone tell Diddy. Oh my gosh! Shout out to Nelson. Shout out to our guy Swan.
Quiet Money is in the building.
Money, what up? I saw Swan in here somewhere. Cheesy soul cakes.
Cheesy soul cakes. Cheesy soul cakes in the building. Cheesy soul cakes. Feed them the goods.
David was.
We got Gabe. Kareem Grant's in the building. Jonathan, moderator of all moderators. Blood of the Panther, moderator of all moderators.
Facts.
Joshy.
Just want to say, we got over 300 people in the building rocking with us right now. If you guys can, please smack that like button and hit the subscribe button. We're sitting at 4,212 subscribers on our way to 5K. So if you're watching us for the first time, hit the subscribe button. And like I said, can we just enjoy today? We don't got to talk about the future. Let's enjoy what's in front of us right now. And what's in front of us is a man by the name of Jalen Brunson, who is a superstar. Go ahead, Phil. I'll let you continue the conversation.
Yeah, no, you know, like, what can you say about Jalen Brunson? You know, like, this is a guy that just erupts when you need him to. You know, like, his first half was fine. But that second half, it was just like a dog mentality that came out of him was ridiculous. You know, like he had a consistent game from the jump. I think it was almost even. I think he had 23 points in the first half and then 24 in the second half, which is absolutely crazy to like split your points pretty much evenly. But he made history yesterday, you know, and what I liked about him is there's certain times you feel like people play to make history, you know, like you look at the performance and you're just like, well, that's great. You got a 7-point game, but we lost a very crucial playoff game by 10, you know, like what does it matter that you reached those heights? But that's not what we saw in Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was still very team focused, was very focused on like not just his accolades, but what the team needed, you know? So those 47 points are great. Pairing them with 10 assists, even better, you know, makes it that much more to celebrate. Pairing it with those 10 assists, pairing it with a freaking block, you know, like you got your point guard, you know, getting blocks, you know, this is the kind of player that for me, it's really enjoyable to watch these moments. You're watching him at the free throw line. They're talking about how he could be breaking this record. And you see his pops on the sideline just watching. Like that to me is awesome to watch. Like, and this is from someone who didn't have his pops growing up, you know, like it's cool to see, you know, him be able to achieve this stuff with his dad in his corner that has been in his corner since day one, believing in him and believing that these moments could happen. When no one else did, it was his pops who believed in him. And so watching his pops watch these things happen on the sidelines, those are awesome moments to me. So shout out to the Brunsons.
Facts. And like Will says, yo, heck, they don't know the power wars you've been through. Facts. They don't know the wars that we've been through. We've been through wars as Knicks fans. Shout out to my guy, Hard Will, in the chat. And shout out to his nephew, Stephon Castle, one of the bright stars coming into the NBA draft, this upcoming draft, who's going to go top 5 in the draft if you would have asked me. Shout out to you and your family, Will. DSJ with the $2 super chat. Thank you for helping us keep the lights on. Anybody heard from Paul Reed? No, nothing. Go ahead, Eddie Presti. And HP Carlos, shout out from Portugal. Portugal is in the building.
Hey, appreciate you, Carlos.
Go ahead.
I don't have any warm and fuzzy feelings about Jalen Brunson and the family. I really don't give a shit. I care about the product that's on the court. I don't care about the pops.
There you go. That's
it.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about all this, nonsense.
Anyway, so moving on.
No heart.
Paul Reed, you asked about Paul Reed. I thought it was pretty hilarious, all the trash talk that he was talking. And then, Nick Nurse talking about, after game 1, I think we need to play both of our centers. Like that was going to be, a big bad thing that would happen. That didn't really work out. And now Paul Reed is playing 4 minutes in the game against us last night. Like he went from this like trash talking, I'm going to make things hard for the Knicks, to I am now being played 4 minutes in the playoffs. So shout out to you, Reed. Like I love watching you eat your words. It's really funny.
Their bench is trash, Phil. Trash.
I know.
Trash.
Yeah. No. Listen, when it comes to the whole back and forth and the chirping, I'm a fan of it. I like the back and forth. I like the chirping. But my thing is stand on business, right? If you're going to talk, if you're going to run to the microphones to talk your hot shit, you have every right to talk your hot shit. But when the reporters are coming around to speak to you, to ask you about the hot shit you was talking about, you better be there to talk to the reporters. Don't disappear and don't run away and make yourself unavailable to the reporters. Now, credit Joel Embiid. He's been talking to the reporters and stuff like that. And I'm not sure reporters are looking for a backup center or a third string center to interview after a postseason game. I'm not too sure. But all I'm going to say is to all the fans in Philadelphia, the same way, if you guys, knock on wood, were to come back and eliminate us this round, you don't think I'm going to be here to respond and talk my shit? I absolutely will. Just like Phil and just like Eddie, us three will be here to talk our shit. If some way, knock on wood, you guys come back and eliminate us in the first round. So with that being said, don't run away. I've been messaging different content creators in the Philadelphia fan base, and I've gotten no response. I'm trying to get a Sixers fan. I'm trying to get a Sixers content creator on the show. If you guys know anyone on Twitter or on X, tag them, let us know so they could come on so we can have the conversation. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out real quick. Pour one out. I wish this was the nightcap. I would pour one out. Shout out
listen,
to
it's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world, Phil.
Little early for that, Phil. Little early for that, Phil.
It's never too early. It's never too early, Eddie.
Between the gambling and the booze, I don't know what I'm going to do with you two.
Shout out to the Knicks aren't
doing at some point for this Brew Crew family.
Shout out to the guy who said the Knicks weren't cool. I'm pretty sure he got swept last night with his super team out in Phoenix. So shout out to Kevin Durant getting swept last night. Yeah, honestly, like stuff like that is great. I saw a great tweet talking about how, he wanted to talk about how New York wasn't the cool place anymore and has had no success since, and how he wanted to, didn't want what Jalen Brunson wanted, which was to go somewhere that didn't have something and make it something. He wanted to continue to do what he did with Golden State and go somewhere that could win instantly. And it hasn't panned out for him since. And you're watching what he could have done with what Jalen Brunson is now doing. So shout out to Jalen Brunson for coming to the Knicks when it wasn't cool. And shout out to KD for not coming and still not being cool or relevant.
Yeah.
And shout out to Julius Randle for being the first one.
Yeah.
Shout out to Randle. You cannot disagree with that. Let's just see what Randle's going to be next year now that he knows that he has to divert to JB. But I said I was going to save it. You brought it up because you brought up Kevin Durant. So we talked about Phoenix. So we have to bring this up because Stephen A. Smith, instead of enjoying the day that is today and enjoying Jalen Brunson, he wants to go down this rabbit hole. So I'm going to play this and we'll be right back.
From what I'm being told, I don't know if it'll ever happen. Devin Booker wants to be in New York. That's what I'm being told. Now, he might deny it. I haven't spoken to him.
Right.
I'm just telling you, the scuttlebutt in the NBA circles is that brother want to be in New York.
He want to be in New York.
Okay. So if you Phoenix, you got at least two people, probably three, who all getting paid about $150 million combined, don't want to be there.
All right. So this is what I'm going to say to that, and I'll throw it over to whoever want to attack it first. You remember that clip that went famous from Shannon Sharp with Skip Bayless smoking on that Black and Mild, smoking on that Mao? I'm a smoke on a Black and Mild right now as I sit back and listen to that garbage from Stephen A. Smith, because like I said, instead of enjoying today, that is today, the day that we have in front of us, he wants to go down this rabbit hole. And you heard him immediately say, well, I didn't speak to him. I just heard it in NBA circles. Respect to Stephen A. Smith, because he's been in this game for years and years and years. I always respect my elders, except if you're CP the artist. I love that. I love that guy to death. But go ahead, Phil. I'll let you or Eddie speak on it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So this is where the problem lies. DSJ put it out there in the post-game interview. Durant says they're going to work on their individual games. Well, what is that going to do? They did not look like a team at all this year. It looked like a bunch of individual players that were coming together to try and win something. Like, it looked like an actual basketball team. And that was their issue. So he's saying, hey, we're going to go fix what's broken by doing what's broken all over again, but being better at it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So to me, they have to blow it up. They have to figure out something. But with Devin Booker and the Knicks, yes, Devin Booker is incredible. He would be a great, great player to have. But we're showing right now that he's not a need. Like, he's a need for the New York Knicks right now. Like, we're not in that place where we need to give up everything to get a Devin Booker. And Phoenix has bought in with everything they have for this super team. So they are going to try and get back as much as freaking possible for each and every one of these players that does not last the summer. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to bankrupt ourselves to get Devin Booker. Like, what do we really have that they would want? You know, like, if any of those guys stay, let's say they trade Booker but keep Durant. Well, they're still on a win now timeline with Durant, you know, being as old as he is, you know, so they're not going to be looking for just trade pieces. They're not going to be looking for, you know, like draft picks. So for me, we don't have what it takes to get the Devin Booker because we have the Jalen Brunson. You know, we're not deterring from the Jalen Brunson track. And so with that, what are we going to give up? You know, what would they actually even be interested in? It's not things that we need to be worried about or talking about right now because the squad we have is winning, you know, and we're winning without Julius Randle. And as of yesterday, without Mitchell Robinson. And so I don't really think that now's the time to entertain those, but I also don't know how that even realistically makes sense. And I'm to the point that if he says it, I'm to the point that I don't believe, you know, like this is a guy that thought Hartenstein was coming off of the bench. He's the guy that thought Grimes was still with us, you know, going to the playoffs. So he's talking about that he hears. Well, maybe he should hear who's actually on our squad. Like, why do his people not let him go on national television saying you don't know what guys are on your team? You know, so if he doesn't know the guys on our team, why would he know what guys on other teams want? Doesn't make sense to me.
Big facts. You know what we need, Phil? We need a Deuce McBride design T-shirt, right? Like the Richard Nixon with the peace signs, but for the Deuce signs for Deuce McBride. I'll throw it over to you, Eddie. And again, shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now, rocking with us. We got over 320 people collectively, 151 on YouTube. If you guys can, please smack the like button. We are sitting at 79 likes. Shout out to my guys, CP the artist in the chat. The official Playback is in the building. Mikey Boy is in the building. Yoshi's in the building. My guy Nelson, salute to you. Official Playback. Nick Yak. Manny is in the building. My guy Will from For the Love of the Game. Antonio Batista. Appreciate all of you guys for rocking out with us and all the moderators in the building. Corey Lee with a $5 super chat helping us keep the lights on. Corey said, I'm so shocked that Eddie is more positive than you, Phil. Go ahead, Eddie. I'll throw it over to you.
I'm here saying not to like step on people's merch, and you're like, what do you mean? Kill people. And now you're like, why aren't you so positive, Phil? What is Corey Lee? You need a hug, bro. All right? Friggin' Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde in the chat. Get out of here.
Shout out my guy Soul Finger number 12 in the building. I'm gonna throw it over to Eddie, but I'm gonna put the link for this for the open panel in the chat. Everybody is welcome to come on an open panel. We're gonna do it one at a time, like always. If you guys can respect the terms and services for YouTube, for the Elon Musk machine, and for all platforms. Do not be a douchebag. Be respectful to everybody on the panel. Go ahead, Eddie.
Okay, when it comes to Devin Booker, I'm intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued at the fact that, you know, he may want to come here. This Knicks team, to me, again, I think we're one guy away from really competing for a championship, probably for multiple years. You get the pairing of Brunson and Booker. I don't know necessarily if it will work. I don't know if it will work. But if you put those two guys together with OG Anunoby, you know, Ihart, and, you know, this bench, you're talking about a team that might be one of the best offensive 1-2s, you know, 1-2s in the game, hands down. But I don't know if bringing in Booker is the answer, because yes, any team could use a Devin Booker. But to me, if you're bringing in a Booker, in the back of my head is, does it fuck up the chemistry? Does it mess up everything we have going defensively? You know what I'm saying? I personally don't think we're a Devin Booker away from a championship. I think it's more of a lesser piece. It's more of a, you know, Mikal Bridges.
Bridges. You just got to stop with Bridges. You said it right there. Bridges, I think, is the perfect piece because you said it. It's a piece that's going to come in and he's not going to mess up the chemistry. The chemistry won't be messed up. He already played with Dante. He already played with Jalen. He already played with Josh Hart or whatever. We already know that. But what makes it special is that his game is not going to take away from OG Anunoby. His game is not going to take away from Jalen Brunson. If anything, his game is going to make those players better because he's a solid defender. So it's going to make OG's job a lot easier. It's going to make Jalen's job a lot easier, and so on and so on. Go ahead, Phil. I'll throw it over to you, bro.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, Devin Booker is a star. Like, he is a great player. I like Devin Booker a lot, but I agree, he's not the guy. Like, before this season, yeah, I would have been like, what do we have to do to get him?
Mm-hmm.
But with what we've seen from this season, it's like, okay, what is he going to bring that we necessarily need right now? Like, he's a good scorer, like really, really good scorer. Well, we have some good scoring right now. Like, we're not struggling in that scoring department as much, So a lesser role where you now get a lesser role and maybe another piece to bolster up the bench a little bit, and you can let dead weight like Burks go, and get an actual, like backup, like I'd rather that. I'd rather a lesser piece that you can get a complimentary piece with than going for Devin Booker, which does not fit, in my opinion, stylistically with Jalen Brunson. Because Devin Booker is really good, but he's also very good because he likes the ball in his hand a lot, and that's just not something I want to test out, for the sake of testing out just because of the name, and that's what I think that this is based on the name, not on the fit.
That's it.
His
Because if you
problem too.
I was just about to say his defense is going to be a problem. We know if Tom Thibodeau is going to be our head coach for the future, we know that he only plays guys that play defense. And Devin Booker, he is gifted offensively. He don't play a lick of defense. Even when it comes to Jalen Brunson, at least Jalen Brunson gives you effort on the defensive side of things. He may not be the gifted defender that we may want from our point guard going up against SGA or going up against Halliburton. I get that, but at least he gives you effort. Shout out to Valentina. And shout out to you,
Phil.
The last
thing I'll say on it real quick.
Go ahead.
Here's the last thing I'll say on it real quick. If we make it to the NBA Finals, okay, and we lose to the Denver Nuggets, okay, let's say it's the Nuggets or the Timberwolves based on how they're currently playing right now, right? Let's say it's one of those two teams. I do not think a Devin Booker in this team would still beat those teams. I don't think it would be a guaranteed, because I don't think that's where we will struggle. It is in that category, in that position category. So I don't personally think that he's the thing for us, because I'm looking at it as, okay, if we were in the NBA Finals right now and we lose, would it be any different because we had him? No, it's not 100%. If it's 100% that I can nod my head, yes, then let's talk about it. If not, let's wait till we find that.
Where we would lose, if you're bringing up those teams, would lose in the front court. It wouldn't be in the back court. We wouldn't lose the games in the back court. It would be the front court because of their size. So it would be the Jokic. It will be the Gobert. It will be the Towns. It'll be Aaron Gordon. That's where we'll lose those games.
You know who helps us out in the front court? It's not Devin Booker. It's not Donovan Mitchell. It's not the guy from Atlanta that everybody wants us to trade for, right?
Bridges.
It's Julius Randle and it's Bridges. Bridges is who helps us out in the front court tremendously. And like I said, I miss Julius Randle. Not having Julius Randle out there, I love what I'm seeing from the team, but Julius Randle, he gives you that toughness down there. These bullshit knick-knack fouls to Jalen Brunson, these dirty plays, I don't think they happen if Julius Randle is out there being a big dog that he is. I don't think Embiid
would have had it out. I think after that Mitchell Robinson thing, Julius Randle would have bowed up. Like I think that would have been one of the guys that we needed in that time.
Honestly, I don't even think the Mitchell Robinson things happened, because that happened in game 3. I don't think that happens because Julius Randle sets the tone in the first 2 games. I don't think game 3, Joel Embiid is grabbing Mitchell Robinson's leg like that. That's just me personally. We got 2 folks backstage. I'm going to bring them up. We got a hard stop at 12:30. So I'm going to bring up Bobby. I'm going to bring up Corey Lee. Like I said, you guys are more than welcome to come up. I'm going to drop the link again to the open panel. You guys are more than welcome to come up. We got 321 people rocking with us right now. Come up, join the conversation. But I'm going to bring up our friend Bobby. Let me just set it up because I'm not as good at social here. But Bobby, let me get a thumbs up. Bobby.
Bobby!
Hey guys, how
Bobby!
you doing?
What up, Bobby?
Bobby!
Won yesterday. I'm gonna change my number to 5. They're gonna win tomorrow night. After the game yesterday, I couldn't stand Embiid. I think he looks like a big goofball, doesn't he?
Yeah, he definitely does.
He's a big like Frankenstein. He's an idiot. I don't like him. Knicks at 5, and then Eddie. When you talked to, Evan last week, right? Doesn't Evan remind you of, what's his name? Sami Zayn from wrestling?
Yeah.
Doesn't he? With the
Yeah, he
beard.
does. Yeah. He's been told that.
And our Yankees won 2 in a row, big time.
Oh, yeah, baby. 15 runs back to back.
Yeah.
Bobby, big game in Madison Square Garden tomorrow night,
Yes.
Bobby. What's your prediction? Who's getting the high points? What's the score? Are we closing it out at home, Bobby?
Yes, we're going to close it at home, guys, tomorrow night. I think, let's see, who's going to score the most? I think he has another chance to score more. Who had the 47 last night?
Jalen, of course. Come on, Bobby. It was Jalen.
Yeah,
Bobby.
Brunson. Yeah, Brunson's going to score the highest.
Copy. Bobby.
Yeah, I told you Hart's good. Didn't I tell you Hart's good?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
17 rebounds this thing. Yeah,
Bobby.
let's go Knicks.
Let's go, Knicks.
Let's
Bobby
go,
Midnight,
Knicks.
we
Thanks,
love
Bobby.
you, baby. Appreciate you, Bobby.
Okay, Bobby.
That's my guy, Bobby. I'm going to bring up my guy, one half of the 718 boys from the Blorange Tears channel, Corey Lee. Let me get a thumbs up, Unc. Let's see. I'm going to bring up my guy, Corey Lee. Corey Lee, salute to you, Unc. Talk your ish.
Hey man, listen, man. Yo, I know we frenemies, you know what I'm saying, Phil, but and Eddie, but you know what I'm saying, I gotta lean towards Eddie's way. Fuck those 76ers. And you cannot tell Knicks fans how to be fans. Fuck all this high road shit.
No. You can't say that because when people were in the chat talking about certain players that they didn't like or this, that, or whatever, or that they would trade somebody, you had your comments about how they need to support, how they need to fan. You can't pick and choose that, my guy. No.
Yeah,
you
but
can't
you
tell them how
can't
to
pick and
fan.
choose.
You can't tell them how to fan anywhere.
Hold on. Don't do that, man. Don't overtalk
Love
me.
is in the air. Go ahead, Corey Lee.
Don't overtalk me like that, man. And I mean, it is cool, you know what I'm saying? But you can't tell Knicks fans how to be Knicks fans. If you're going to walk around that stadium and scream FMB, we're going to FMB. You know what I'm saying? Because he deserves it.
No, did he? You sure?
No, he deserves it. Yo, everything he did was classless.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, F all this higher road and, yeah, we're going to be the nicer guy. Man, fuck that. Let's put it in their face, rub it in there, put the shit in their mouth, excuse my language, in their mouth and tell them how it tastes. Because you know
Corey,
what it is? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, no, it's fine. I was just going to say, like, I don't root for players to get injured. I don't do that. That's not something that I do.
I don't.
So when
I don't do it either.
When you have fans from the 76ers rooting for Jalen Brunson to get injured, rooting for Josh Hart to get injured by Joel Embiid, that's why I'm drawing the line. That's why I think it's unacceptable. My guy Corey Lee got the phone going crazy right now.
My wife is bugging out, but I'll get back to her. Listen, because I know my time is limited. Listen, you know what I'm saying? As much as I love you cats, man, we can't go soft on these cats. You know what I'm saying? We talking about Snitch City. You know what I'm saying? Philly. They snitch on everybody from New York.
If you know, you know.
I know.
I'm just saying for people to chat, if you know, you know. Go ahead, Corey.
Exactly. So with that said, ain't no doing good business. We're gonna go in there and smack them in the freaking mouth. I told them they took out my man, the butcher, for no reason, but because he was putting his hands all over the, you know what I'm saying, and being bum ass. He's descending. And he's going down. He's done. It's a rapper. It's your rapper's favorite rapper. Like that. What, Gilly the Kid? Yeah. Like I said, he's done. You know what I'm saying?
Corey Lee, appreciate you, Unc. Like always, love you. Shout out to Corey Lee, one half of the 718 boys on the Blorange Tears channel. Make sure you guys go and support Uncle Freezy and the entire Blorange Teal community. Corey Lee, appreciate you, Pops.
No doubt. No, baby.
That's my guy. I got to bring up somebody else. I got two people backstage. I got to bring up Worldwide L, my guy, Cheesy Soul Cakes. L, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to rock out. All right. Mr. Worldwide Mayberry. L, what it do, bro? Salute,
What up?
Chilling, baby.
Peace, fellas. Was good.
Peace, talk it ish, L.
Eddie was good. What's good, Phil? When you coming to the A's, Phil?
Chilling.
How long before you got on that road trip before you make it to my part of town?
I'm in Indiana right now.
Don't forget to hit me up now.
I won't. We came straight up to visit my wife's family before we start the full-on road trip. So definitely hit you up when I get out there. Right now we're in Philly though, and if we play the Pacers in the first round, I'm gonna stay for a little bit longer and try to hit up some games out here because they're dirt cheap.
Yeah, I could imagine how much them tickets is out there.
Bro, I looked it up right now. It's for the game in Milwaukee tomorrow. It's $31, the cheapest tickets. And Indiana for game 6, the cheapest ticket is $69. Crazy.
Yeah, I just wanted to come up here real quick. I gotta get ready to open up the cafe. But I just wanted to shout out OG Anunoby for the game he played yesterday. And it had nothing to do with his defense. It was him being aggressive from the beginning of the game. Even though he was missing the shot, I thought him being aggressive was making Embiid work, you know, and he was going there. Even though he was missing the shots, he was making him work, making him have to pay defense. So came fourth quarter, he ain't have nothing. And it's like the keys to the game. It's like them little things that the guys do, you know, to help us get there. Then it's up to our star to take us home, and that's what you seen yesterday. But you know, it's just a total team effort. You know, Brunson is the head, like they say, he the head of the snake, and without them guys doing what they did, you know, Hart grabbing 17 rebounds, OG being aggressive, McBride coming in the game doing what he do. You know, even Dante had a cold game, but them 2 threes he hit in that third quarter was big momentum swings right there. You know, I mean, I'm just overall happy. I gotta go. I wanted to talk to y'all some more, but I gotta go. I gotta get ready to open up the cast.
Appreciate you,
but
bro.
I just wanted to come up here real quick and hit y'all off with that. Respect to OG Anunoby. Respect that dude. Respect his game and respect what he do, because some of the things he do may not show up in the box score. Him being aggressive in that first half was so big down the stretch because it forced Nick Nurse to leave Embiid in the game the whole second half. Came fourth quarter, he had nothing. He had nothing. He was so not confident in his shot. He had a wide open shot when they grabbed the rebound. He pump faked. And I said, oh, what are you doing? Oh. And he got blocked. He was wide open. He hit them shots.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I appreciate you, big
OG
bro.
was great.
Yep. I gotta go, fellas. But I'm trying to come on later on. Come do the show later on. We're doing the show.
You guys are live. Yeah, you guys are live later today at 4, right?
Yeah, 4.
At 4. All right, copy, Al.
Come through, y'all. Come through. Let's have some fun.
Definitely. Appreciate you, Al. You be good.
All right.
That's my guy, Worldwide L from For the Love of the Game. Make sure you guys go check them out. They'll be live later on today at 4 p.m. I think my schedule is clear. I should be back from the gym, so I'll probably join with them. My guy, Cheesy Soul Cakes, is backstage. Cheesy Soul Cakes, let me get a thumbs up. My guy, Cheesy. Cheesy, feed them the goods.
What's up, fellas? Salute to the chat. Salute to the... How you guys feeling?
Chilling, baby.
Doing well, man. Doing well.
Let's go, Knicks. 3-1 feels really good. Makes a sunny day even more beautiful. 3-1.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I want to get back a little off of what El was saying. Like, OG should get some props. iHeart should get some props. DiVincenzo was cold, but he hit those 2 clutch threes. McBride was, I mean, really huge with Bogey going down, him hitting 16 points. That was big for us. Like, Brunson is the man, and he did everything that we needed him to do, but all our role players played a role. Precious, too. Precious came in the fourth quarter, and Embiid only scored one. One from Embiid in the fourth quarter. That's fucking crazy. And I want to say one more thing. Fuck Embiid, fuck Philly.
Facts, cheesy. Facts. Go ahead, Phil. I'll throw it over to you. Go ahead. And you and Eddie.
No. You know, when it comes to, you know, OG, everything he does, you know, it is something that we need. You know, like the confidence that he's having now, just putting the ball down on the floor, making his own, you know, shots and not waiting for a play to come to him. And that's one thing the announcers, you know, I give them credit. They gave him, you know, his praise yesterday, is that this is the kind of player that does not need the coach to waste time creating plays for him, because he finds ways to contribute no matter what. Like, he's going to find a way to cut. He's going to find, you know, a way to cut around back. Same with Deuce McBride, you know, that play with the handoff by Precious Achua, you know, like that's a play that they love to run, and those two run it perfectly together. You know, like Precious sets a hard enough screen that the actual defender gets, you know, pushed off a little bit, and McBride doesn't need a ton of room to get the shot off. So it's those guys and those small plays that you pair those with the 47 points and of Jalen Brunson, and that's what wins us games. It's not just the 47 points of Brunson. You know, like Brunson's able to get those 47 points because we have other players that are doing things and contributing, you know. So if it was just that they didn't think that McBride could shoot, or OG just wasn't good, you know, then of course it would be full on focus on Jalen Brunson. But they took the foot off the gas because other guys were contributing. That was what Nick Nurse said after the first 2 games. He said, we focused too much on Brunson, that we got killed by everybody else. Then they switched it to Brunson. Brunson started finding it, but in that third game, only Brunson had it. Then last night, Brunson found it, and everybody else went back to finding it. And so it was one of those things that Nick Nurse didn't have enough weapons to stop everybody. And that's what makes this New York Knicks team beautiful.
The first 2 games we won without Brunson being like a superhero. Yep. It was a supporting cast that took us over the hump. And, you know, everybody's talking about next year and Booker and all that now. Does Booker sound good? He sounds good. But in order to have a Booker, you have to, I believe, you would have to subtract a Randall, because we only get one ball. And you look at what's going on in Phoenix or in other teams. Even, I like the Clippers, but even there, like, they get confused of who should have the ball when it matters, you know? And we don't have that problem. We know who should have the ball. And if Randall was here, we would know it would be either Brunson or Randall. If you add Booker to the mix, then you're going to be like, I don't know. I don't want to star fuck. I like the way we've been setting up our team. And if we're going to add players that fit Tibbs' schemes and the defensive styles and plays off of Brunson. Like Bridges sounds good to me. Other than that, I say we just run it back with Randall.
Yeah. Cheesy. Appreciate you, Cheesy, like always. And again, bro, I'm not sure if you messaged our social, but like I did. Okay.
I send it to your DM.
Copy. So I'll go check right after the show. Cheesy, appreciate you, my guy.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
We're gonna bring up one more person. It's gonna be the last person because we're gonna wrap things up. We got a hard stop at 12:30. We're gonna bring up Johnny. Johnny, let me get a thumbs up. All right, bring up my guy Johnny. Johnny, let them know how you feel. Make it fast and keep it classy. Go ahead, Johnny.
Bro, I feel great. What a season, man. Like,
say it.
God, man, let's go next round. I mean, we're winning it, bro, tomorrow. We're ending it. And at what point are we going to get a Chris Childs 2-piece on Embiid? Like, that dude, bro, is dirty, man. He could have hurt Hart stepping in his leg like that, right? And it's something that's kind of like going under the radar, but want to come up here real quick, show some love. You know, it's 85 degrees over here today in Virginia Beach, bro, and it's brick in my house. My wifey has the thermostat all the way down, dude. She's pregnant.
You better put some socks on. Oh yeah, well yeah. Congratulations, congrats. Good luck with that. Wish you the best.
How you guys holding up, man? Everybody hyped? I mean,
I'm excited, bro. We was out here in Washington Heights yesterday with Knicks fans. It was amazing. Up here in Inwood, Washington Heights, it was dope. So many Knicks fans out there. Minus the Philadelphia 76er fans that were in the ball being obnoxious. It was dope. The city, it's a different feeling, bro. I'm proud to when I walk out the house and wear my Knicks hat. You know what I mean? Before it was embarrassing. Now it's not embarrassing. Fuck that.
I have to say that when the Knicks are doing really well and they're doing so good, every New York sport is better. It's just that. I mean, what a time right now to be a New York sports fan, right? I mean, the Rangers, they got the sweep.
Oh yeah, the Yankees is good, Mets is good, Knicks is good. It's a good vibe or whatever. Johnny, appreciate you. We got one more person to let rock out Johnny. Before we go. Appreciate you, Johnny. Jay Boogie, the closer. Make it fast and keep it classy. Jay Boogie, salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's.
Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. I don't know how to do nothing else but make it classy. Everybody know I'll be on speed dial when I be conversating, you know what I'm saying? But I've been telling you guys, maybe you might have saw it yesterday when I made, you know what I'm saying, the reference. This dude is the Barry Sanders of the NBA. I don't care how many guys you put up front, stack the box, 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers. There's no shutting down Barry Sanders once he gets in his vibe, once he gets in his groove. He's leading the format. He's taking the team. He's doing what he's got to do, man. His game is elevating each and every quarter. Not each and every game. Each and every quarter, he gets a better and known understanding of what's going on, what I need to do, how I need to handle these guys. And you see them run up on the dude. Earlier, I mentioned it yesterday on 2 different shows. He ran up. Yo, what's that all about, man? What's the problem with you? What's that all about? You a big-time player. I respect you. You ain't got to get nasty and dirty. But for that, guess what? I'm going to air you out. And you know what? You know what goes behind the back seat of that back seat, them 2 seats back there? It's a trunk. It's a trunk. Embiid is welcome for you. Embiid is going in the trunk. He's going in the trunk as early as tomorrow. No after that. Early as tomorrow. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's.
Jay Boogie, the closer. Appreciate you, Jay Boogie. And again, sorry we had to cut it out early today just because we got a hard stop at 12 o'clock. But I'm gonna throw it over to my guys, Phil and Eddie. Nelson, I see you backstage. My fault, bro. We got to close out the show right now. But no, man, my fault, bro. Come on to the show next episode. You be the first one we bring up. My fault, Nelson. Go ahead, Phil. I'll throw it over to you. Close us out.
Yeah, you know, so salute to the chat. Salute to everyone that was watching. 300 plus in the building. Like Hector said, if you haven't, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to everyone who's putting in work. You know, there's clothing designers right now, you know, Nick content creators in that field. There's artists, there's people that are making, you know, music. You know, there's a lot of cool things happening within the New York fan base right now. So support those that are doing big things. We know that there's a lot of watch parties happening. Shout out to our girls at the Omni fans that are doing great things. Yes. Follow them. Shout out to Tony. He had a good event last night with a lot of people. So shout out to everyone that's putting in that work in the playoffs. Shout out to Corey Lee. He's that like cousin that you love and hate at the same time. That's my guy. You know, we see things differently a lot, but that's just who we are. It makes me enjoy him coming on the show a lot more. So shout out to everyone in the building. We appreciate you guys. Please give us a retweet, give us a like, you know, and that little thing up in top. If you guys like what we're doing, feel free to buy us a coffee. It's that little barcode at the top right. YouTube, as nice as they are to let us put our show on their channel, they take all of our money. Buy us a coffee does not. So do us a favor, support the squad. We're looking to do things in the second round of the playoffs. We couldn't in the first round. Too many things were going on, but hoping to do some stuff in the second round. So we appreciate you guys. Much love to Heck. Much love to Eddie. Much love to my brother Jigga, who's handling some stuff right now. Much love to you guys.
And again, till next time, I'm Hector. That's Eddie with a sour puss face like always, but we love him to death. And always make sure you drink your water, stay hydrated, say something nice about yourself. And until the next episode, let's go Knicks, baby.
Let's go.
And F Joel Embiid.